Hi Facebook family. Hey everyone, my name is Neil Barrington and I live just north Nashville, Tennessee. For you guys that are gonna watch me on the replay, please share this video to anybody you think that needs to see it or that that it might help. This video is going to be completely different than usually what I do because most of you guys know me as the LimeLight girl, the girl with the perfect makeup and the lip gloss and the lipsticks and all the amazing makeup that we have, and I love it because it makes my skin look absolutely fabulous. But tonight I'm going to have a serious conversation with you guys about something completely different, okay? The title of my video was "The Struggle is Real," and my purpose of coming on here is to be pretty vulnerable with you guys and to share with you guys some things that you know, you just don't put out there very often. And I just posted on my wall, and you guys can go and see it, but at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time tonight, a friend of mine is going to be doing a show on A&E. It is called From Dope to Hope. Okay, now that is like, what? You know, people put a stigma on that. They put a stigma on you know, the word addiction, okay? And unless you've been there or you've had a family member go through that process, it is very, very hard to understand, okay? But I don't want to get into a lot of detail, but I do want to give a little bit of perspective from a mom's perspective. And I want to share with you guys that my friend that I posted, his name is Tim Ryan. He's doing a documentary tonight on A&E at 9 o'clock Central Time. And if it wasn't for that man, my son probably would not be alive today, okay? So 3 years ago, you know, and what really prompted this, and I don't know if you guys have seen the news or not, but Megan Barry, the mayor of Nashville, just lost her son to a drug overdose. And, you know, I'm just trying to raise awareness because people have to get their head out of the sand, all right? It is a terrible epidemic. It is happening everywhere. It's touching families. It's touching your children. Even when you think it's not touching your children, you guys, it is. And let me tell you something. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. Please, if you have medications in your home, narcotics, absolutely anything, keep it locked up. Get one of those, what's it called? One of those locks, just lost my train of thought. What's that big lock called? A bolt lock or something on your closet, and keep all of your medications behind lock and key, because if your friends are having friends come over to your house, I can almost 100% guarantee you that when they go to the restroom, they are rummaging through your drawers. They are looking for medications. That's just what they do. And it's very unfortunate. Even the people that you would least suspect would do it. Even in your hometown, even in places that you would think would not even touch that, you know, touch the stuff, they absolutely are. So be smart, parents. Please keep all of your medications under lock and key. All right, kids are doing that. They're doing it for fun, but if you've seen the statistics, I think 155 people a day are dying from drug overdoses, and opiate overdoses are absolutely huge. And you know, even though the mayor lost her son, I can almost guarantee she wasn't shocked, okay? I mean, as a parent that has kind of gone down that road, she probably wasn't shocked that that was going to be the next step, or going to be, even as unfortunate as it was, going to be an outcome that she was going to face. All right. So I know for me, 3 years ago, I was headed down the same road. I mean, with my son, it was an absolute the worst year of my life, you guys. People always say to me, they say, "Oh, you have got this great personality. You're bubbly. You're always on the go." Well, I am, and I do have a great personality, and I seem like I don't have, any issues. But I can tell you, 3 years ago, you guys, I was faced with one of the most emotional, tough love. God, it's just gut-wrenching what you have to go through when you have a family member or even your child going through that, and you're literally fighting the devil, and you are like, this, will not win, period. I mean, that's just where my mindset was. It was not going to overcome. It was not going to win. I was going to do everything in my power, but the person that was actually going through it had to want the help. And that was the difference. They had to want the help. I couldn't talk the talk, okay? I've never walked the walk. I mean, you guys are my Facebook friends. Most of you have known me since high school. You know I was a goody two-shoes. I mean, I just totally was not even in that scene, okay? But I had to put somebody in front of my son who could talk the talk, who's walked the walk. And the person that I put in front of him was the guy that I posted on my wall tonight, okay? His name is Tim Ryan. At 9 o'clock tonight on A&E, he is premiering a show, a documentary that he did, and his life mission is to save our children. So I'm just encouraging and urging any of you guys that have a family member that is in addiction, or children that are in addiction, or have been touched or faced, or I mean, it's so rampant. Literally, there's so many people that you wouldn't even think that have had to deal with that are dealing with it, okay? And if you're dealing with it right now, just throw off the stigma, okay? I'm very transparent, okay? Knowing what I have gone through. If anybody wants to reach out to me, if you want to have a personal conversation with me, and ask me a ton of questions, how did I get through it? And what support did I have? And, I can give you so much encouragement. But most of all, the guy that's going to do the show tonight, I can give you his cell phone number. Literally, he wants you to call him. He will reach out to you and converse back. When I called him and I reached out to a support group like 3 years ago, when that touches you, you go absolutely like, oh my gosh, what's the word for it? You literally exhaust all options to save your child, right? So I had reached out to so many people, thousands of people, and his name kept popping up. So I finally picked up the phone and I called the number that somebody gave me, thinking that I was going to leave him a message at his office, and he picked up the phone and we had this amazing conversation, all right? And just listening to his story right then, I knew I had to get my son on the phone. So I connected him. I did one of those add a calls on my cell phone and added the call. So Tim had this amazing conversation. I just put the phone on mute and I could hear the conversation that was going on between he and my son. And had that conversation not taken place, it was like my last Hail Mary, you guys. I have no idea. I would probably had buried my son within a short few months. And that's quite honest, before he had that conversation with him. So I just want to reach out to all of you guys. I know this is a different go live, and someday my son will probably come on and he'll do a live video, or he will, he's so good with kids right now. And I preface that he's alive, he's doing well, he's in recovery, he has, left all that junk behind him. He has, and it's because he's gone through all the steps and everything that he's had to go through. But you guys, heroin is huge, and it only takes one time one time. You can have 10 people in a room, and if all 10 people try it one time, it just takes one time, and they are 100% addicted. I mean, it's not something like, we're going to try. It's if they do it one time, they are 100% addictive. There is no looking back. And the only way that anyone is addicted to opiates can get help is to go through a detox, all right? Because when they start coming down off of that stuff, they get so deathly ill. They get what they call dope sick, okay? They get so sick, and they feel like they're going to die, and that makes them want to go back out and reuse over and over. But the difference is you've got to have somebody, your family member has to be willing to make the change. Like, they have to recognize that that's not who they are, and that's not who they want to be, and they want to make the change. And when they make the change, that's when you see the transition of recovery, okay? There's some people that like to live it. They're not ready to give it up yet, and that's when they say you've got to hit rock bottom, and then you just have to hold on with all your might and hope that rock bottom doesn't mean it's when you have to bury your family member or bury your child. Okay, you hope that they realize that before that happens. But I can tell you, it got to the point with my family member that I literally hired an attorney. I got his attorney, and I told the attorney that, you know what, you're going to have to write his obituary. That's right. I mean, if this is the choice that you're making, and you're going to go down that path, then you're going to have to get with your attorney, and you're going to have to go through giving me power of attorney. You're going to have to write a living will, because when, not if, but when the time comes that you succumb to this disease, for me, I'm just going to check out, and you're going to, I want it already planned out how you want it done, because you're making this choice. And so you might as well go ahead and write your obituary. Because I'm not going to be in the right state of mind, right? Absolutely not. It's just the thought of that is so, I don't know, the thought of losing a child, but losing a child to a power that you cannot control is so utterly just painful. It's the worst pain in the world. And I'll never forget, as long as I live, I'll never forget one instance. It was winter time, and it was so cold outside. I'm talking, it was like 0 degrees. I mean, it was freezing cold. And at this time, he had left the house. And I remember him calling me and asking me and saying, Mom, I'm really cold, I'm really cold, and I'm really hungry, and I'm cold. And, you want to take care of your children, and you want to give them the blanket, and you want to give them a hotel room. I mean, you want all these things for your kids, right? And it took everything and every fiber within me to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, not tonight. I'm sorry. I mean, because you're hoping that him sleeping in that cold truck, or that cold, side of the road, wherever a family member could be sleeping tonight for you, is their rock bottom. It is painful enough for them that they're going to want to make that change. Okay. That's what my hope was. And I know that when I got off the phone with him, I just curled up, my husband could tell you, in a fetal position, and just cried and cried all night, because, that's my child. And you only want the best for your child or for your family member. So you guys, like I said, I know that this is a different video, and I really don't want to take you guys through the whole year, because it was an absolute year of hell. I mean, it was awful, and it didn't come to a surprise, much like I think that other people who are going down the same path, it's not a surprise, but it has been a struggle. And looking back on it, I mean, I thank God for, first and foremost, and I thank God for putting Tim Ryan in my life. I thank God for the support that I had, and I really, really want to encourage you guys tonight. If you have anyone in your family, oh my gosh, look how red my neck is. You guys know me, you know, if I get really nervous, I start breaking out, my neck gets all red and everything. But you know, it has a huge stigma to it. People don't like to talk about it. People like to put their head in the sand and go, no, not my family. It doesn't happen to me. You know, that's just something that we hear about on the news or something we hear about in the newspaper. But no, it is your next door neighbor. It's your family. It's your family's friends. It happens. My kids were all raised together. We were very, very strict. It just happens. It takes one time. It takes one party. It takes one peer pressure to come into your life and completely turn it upside down. So you guys, tonight at 9 o'clock on A&E, my friend Tim Ryan, he's been there. He's walked the walk. He's talked the talk. He is doing a documentary tonight. It's called From Dope to Hope. He's even written a book. It's an Amazon. It's on Amazon, so you guys can check it out and just Google him. He has a foundation called A Man in Recovery, and I met him 3 years ago when I was absolutely just grabbing on for any type of support, because this is crisis, you guys. When something like this happens to you, it is a crisis situation. And you know, they tell you about those meetings. You can go to the meetings, the Al-Anon meetings, or the, what's it called, Narcotics Anonymous meetings that meet once a week. I didn't need once a week meetings. I needed 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning meetings. I needed when the crisis happened, when something happened, I needed intervention right then, okay? So it was so amazing to have that support. And Facebook, the groups are incredible. Literally, the Facebook support group at 2 o'clock in the morning, if there was something happening, I could literally go on Facebook and say, blah, 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 this is happening. And boom, I would get like, you know, hundreds of responses. And, you know, I didn't have to take these people's experiences or their advice, but I could take from their experiences and their advice, and then I could, you know, because your mind's just racing in a million different ways, because this is not a normal behavior. This is not something that, you know, that I have ever been around in my entire life. Okay. So I wasn't equipped to handle something like that. So I had to pull so many resources, and that's exactly what I did. So I can't say that I'm an expert, but I reached out to those people that just weren't saying that they were an expert, that actually were walking the walk and talking the talk. And that's who I put in front of my family member, so that they could speak the same language. So I'm just encouraging you guys tonight at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time on A&E. My friend Tim Ryan, he has a foundation called A Man in Recovery. Up there in the search bar that's on Facebook, put in A Man in Recovery. If you or any of your family members are suffering from an opiate addiction, or any kind of addiction, he'll put you on the right pathway, but you can actually speak to him and he will help you, or he will put you in front of the right people that will help you. Okay, you're not alone. Especially you mamas out there. If there's any mamas out there, please reach out to me. I'm very transparent. I would love to have a conversation with you. I am all about doing anything I can to help give you support to save your children. That is so much to my heart. Okay, so anyway, like I said, look, I made it through this whole video. I didn't even cry. My mascara is still looking great. Okay, and by the way, my lip gloss tonight is LimeLight by Alcone, and it's Faith lip gloss. And you guys know I don't do anything without my lip gloss, so I absolutely love my lip gloss. So I just wanted to come on here tonight just real quick, you guys. Let me see if I can pull it up here on my iPad, and I'll show you just really quick. So you guys know right up here in the search bar, you can type in a man in recovery, a man. Let's see if I can find it. A man in recovery, That's his foundation. And then right here is some video. All right, so you guys can go there and you can see some video of his upcoming, this is him, this is Tim, and you guys can see his upcoming premiere tonight at 9 o'clock. He was on Fox News this morning. This is from Fox and Friends this morning. So he did an interview on Fox News this morning, which was really cool. And then let's see if it's got a picture of his book. This is A Man in Recovery right here, okay? And let's see here. That's part of his foundation right there as well. It's a really good foundation to donate to because he takes money from the foundation and helps put people in recovery that don't have insurance. And that's very, very awesome thing that he does. Let's see. He lost his son, you guys, back in 2012 from an opiate overdose. So he knows exactly what it feels like to lose a child, okay? So when you're speaking to him about those kind of things, he knows exactly because he's walked the walk, all right? This is Jason Hervey. You may know him from the Wonder Years, and he's the one that produced Tim's show tonight. So when you see it, 9 o'clock Central Time, okay, you guys? Whew, look, I'm even sweating. Just talking about this on live with you guys. But I'm so passionate about it, and I feel so strongly about it because it has such a terrible stigma. And people, like I said, they just keep it hush hush. They brush it under the rug. They don't talk about it, and they think, you know, this is not the flu. It's not going to go away. If you have a family member that's been touched by this, they have to have help. They need help. And if you're like me and you don't know where to go to get help, reach out to me. I will give you Tim's phone number, okay? I will give you his cell phone number. I will put you in contact with the people that you need to be in contact with. This is really fast.
I'm the guy to help with this epidemic.
I don't know if you can see that.
I overdosed on heroin, hit 2 cars, and almost killed 4 people. I'm the guy to get them into treatment. If you want to get better, you're going to end up dead.
Gotta go, and I will definitely shoot you up, bro.
She's a heroin addict. All I want is her. You're a relapse king. You make excuses. It's time to man up. I can get through to you because I've been exactly where you've been. It's one addict helping another addict.
Did you guys get that? Hopefully you got that. That's just a little prelims to tonight and what you're going to see. But again, I just encourage you guys to tune in 9 o'clock Central Standard Time tonight, or reach out to me if you're a mama or even a daddy. I mean, you know, I can put you in touch. I mean, my husband can definitely relate and can share with you guys from his perspective, okay? But us mamas, we are trained our whole life to take care of our cubs, to take care of our babies, okay? And we don't want anything but the absolute best for our children. And when something like this comes in, you are literally fighting the devil, okay? You are fighting the devil, and you need an army. You need God's army behind you to fight the devil. And I can put you in touch with God's army, let me tell you, because if it wasn't for this crew that came along beside me, the support that I had, I would be buried. My son would be dead. That's just the bottom line. I feel in my heart of hearts, my son would be dead. I would be celebrating the 3rd year of his death this year, and that is something that no parent should ever have to go through. And really, I prayed about it all weekend because I knew Tim's show was coming up, and then I knew. And then yesterday, when Megan Barry, the mayor of Nashville, when her son passed away from a drug overdose, I mean, I was just at an absolute, I could just feel the pain as a mom, that you must feel losing your child to drugs, to an overdose. That is just, oh, it makes me so angry. So again, you guys, you know, this is happening in our community. I live in a prominent community. I live in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Tennessee, and it's happening right here in this town. And unless we, you know, get our hands out of the sand, get our head out of the sand, and we start talking about it, we start doing something about it. And the first thing that you guys can do, my call of action for you parents, for people that are watching me, take all of your medications that are in your house and lock them up. Simple as that. Get a lockbox, get a deadbolt. Couldn't remember that earlier. Sorry, you guys. Get a deadbolt. Put it on your closet in your bedroom. Keep all your medications, keep all of your alcohol, okay? Keep it all and deadbolt it. If you've got teenagers, even, well, Tim can tell you, he's worked with people as young as 12 years old. 12 years old, you guys, that are on heroin, as old as 78 years old. I mean, you know, those guys must be, I can't even imagine that. But anyway, lock up your stuff, okay? Don't make it accessible. These kids think it's fun, and it's not fun. It can kill your children, okay? So anyway, thank you guys for your time tonight. And again, I'm sorry I'm so red. I was so very nervous. This is a subject that is very sensitive to me. But again, I'm very transparent about it, because if I can help one parent, if I can help one child, if I can help absolutely anybody, message me. Let me put you in touch with the resources and the people that you need to equip yourself to fight this. All right, you can't do it alone. You have to have an army. All right. So 9 o'clock Central Standard Time tonight on A&E. Check out Tim Ryan. He's got a show. It's a premiere. It's called The Dope Man, and fight like hell. Don't let this take over your family, and don't let it take over your children, okay? I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.